Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Hockey Actually. I'm Izzy. This is Nicolleta. I don't even know what episode we're on at this point. No idea what number. 20 something. I know it's
20,
20
yeah,
something.
closer to
But
30.
yeah, we're on the road to 30. Will we hit 30 by the time the season ends? Possibly. Probably. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
We'll do it before the Vancouver Canucks do.
Yeah, yeah. That we will. That we will. But got a bit to talk about today. We've got some milestones that are on the way and may have already passed by the time this comes up. Depends. A couple other things as the season is winding down. First thing to note probably is, of course, the fact that Evander Kane will be playing in his 1000th game in the NHL on Monday, March 30th against the Vegas Golden Knights. Of course, that is if he does play, if he is in the lineup. I don't imagine that Adam Foote or the Canucks would keep him out at this point, given the fact that he's got one game before the milestone. But I mean, who knows? Who knows?
You
Never
never
say
really
never.
know. Yeah.
But it looks like Kane is on track to play his 1000th game in the NHL on Monday in Vegas, with the ceremony likely coming on the 4th at home against Utah. That way he can get his silver stick and everything. So that's one milestone we've got coming up. We had a couple that also did pass recently as well, which is on March 24th. Actually, all these milestones came on March 24th, which is kind of funny, but uh on March 24th against the Anaheim Ducks, Brock Boeser slid into ninth all time in franchise history and all time points. So he's now officially ninth all time in Canucks history in points. Past Tony Tanti for that milestone with 471 points in his career with the Canucks, which for Boeser, it's his whole career. And the next one that he will need to pass is Pavel Bure. And then all of a sudden he'll be in eighth.
And you can only go up from there.
You can only go up from there. Elias Pettersson also hit two milestones on the exact same day. Everything came against Anaheim on the 24th for some reason this week. No idea why that's the case, but
They
it
fish out
happened.
that game.
It happened that day.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, Elias Pettersson hit 500 career NHL points on March 24th against the Anaheim Ducks. He becomes the second fastest player in Canucks franchise history to hit 500 career NHL points, which honestly, given how the past two seasons have gone for him, if anything, only speaks to how good he was. The fact that he was able to lead up to 500 points, have two really
Keyword
slow seasons.
was.
Well, a key word was the fact that he was able to kind of set that foundation though beforehand.
I mean, not I'm not doubting what his abilities were, and that, there is very slight possibility that he can get back to that. But it's just in my opinion it's not gonna happen. So I'm glad he had his moment, and I hope he proves me wrong, but at this rate I'm not seeing it.
It's an interesting conundrum we have here with Elias Pettersson. He did hit another franchise milestone on the 24th, which was sliding into ninth all time in power play points. So
In
points scored on the power play. Ironically enough, he did pass JT Miller to get to ninth all time. Uh,
it took him that long.
but
Sorry.
next up that he can pass is Alex Edler with 177, which would put him in eighth. So we've got three milestones on that one Tuesday, and then Evander Kane 1000th game, and then there are a couple more coming up, but of course those will come later on. We've got a couple guys who are on pace to hit 100 games played in the NHL with Linus Carlson, Max Sasson, and DPD as well, I believe, is up there, but we will see. Those might not happen this season, but
Time will tell.
time will tell. Since we've got a thousandth gamer coming up, I figured we can kind of take a little look at players who have played in their 1000th NHL game with the Canucks. Trevor Linden, as everybody knows who Trevor Linden is, he has the third most games played by a Canuck with 1,140, and actually became the first player to play in 1,000 games as a Canuck. Like, as a Canuck.
As a Canuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, of course, is Marcus Naslund, one of, let's see, I think four players on this list have their jersey retired by Vancouver. So Marcus Naslund, second one of that little grouping, played in 884 games for Vancouver, which is the sixth most by a player in franchise history. Played in 1,117 total. And after that, of course, was Daniel and Henrik Sedin, who actually have the unsurprisingly have the record. Henrik has the record for most games played by a Canuck in their entire career, which is 1,330 games.
Pop off.
Yep. Yep.
Those
Clicks
good
for
old
that.
days. Yeah, the good old days.
Yep. Yeah, you are totally right. The good old days. But it appears the good old days are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So
No,
Henrik has the lead in that. Daniel has 1,306, which is second all time in Vancouver, but
we
still
take it.
impressive nonetheless.
Yeah.
And of course, the last player, the most recent player to have played in his 1000th NHL game as a member of the Canucks, none other than Mr. Tyler Myers, who achieved that feat back in October of 2024. He wrapped his career with the Canucks with 488 games played. Of course, we don't know if that's the end of his career with the Canucks. You can assume, but you never know.
No, you never know. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's probably more than happy to stay in Dallas.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
if he's born there too, and like, yeah, I'm not gonna blame him.
yeah.
If anything, I'd say it would be stupid for you to come back.
And you know what? Like, chase your cup. Chase your cup,
Yeah,
man.
get your stuff done,
Mhm. Yeah. Chase your cup. Don't feel like you need to move your family and everything back to Vancouver when you already moved to Dallas. Just stay there. But enough about this thousandth game talk. We can move on now. An interesting piece of dialogue that's been circulating lately within Canucks Nation is who the head coach will be next year. I have a feeling the majority of people do not want to see Adam Foote back. Of course, we don't know if that's what's going to happen or not, but it's it's pretty much, it's pretty much the Adam Foote versus Manny Malhotra discussion back again. I feel like we saw a little bit of it start last season when Rick Tocchet left and people were kind of wondering like who the next head coach will be. But it does feel like it's kicked up to a bit of a higher level now. What do you think of let's see how to put this politely. What do you think of Adam Foote and will he be back next year?
Okay. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I don't like him as a coach. I don't think he's done a very good job, and that his job as a coach is not being a coach. I'm not seeing the execution or effort or even what was it? It was like he says stick to the structure. And I'm like, dude, what
What's the
structure?
structure?
What's the structure? Where's the foundation? Like it's it's really hard to root for someone when you have no idea what their plans are. And I also don't feel as though maybe it's not that he wasn't like prepared to be an NHL coach, but he's shown that he's just not ready to be an NHL coach.
Hmm.
So it would be a massive mistake, in my opinion, if they were to have him as the head coach again. I'm of the mind that, you know what, like you had your trial run, and you flopped. You flopped hard. So if we're under the impression that we're gonna start from scratch, bring in someone who's shown that they have success within the organization, especially with your younger
Hmm.
kids,
Yeah.
who you are saying is gonna be the next wave of good players. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Exactly. And I think especially with the point that you're at right now with this team is you want someone who will help the young players really kind of come into their own, especially since like at this point you care about results but you don't care about the points, right? Like you're not looking to get 2 points every night. You're looking to put up a good effort. You're looking to kind of, like for the younger players especially get the experience. uh I think the thing that kind of a comment he had made that kind of made me like question whether he is the right guy to lead the team through a rebuild or not is there was a few games back when Zeev Buium had a really nice game offensively. He was like being really creative, kind of showing the talent and showing like flashes the potential that like he could be later on, right? He had a
Mhm.
really nice kind of end-to-end dash. I think this was against the Ottawa Senators, where he kind of just picked it up from his own end, brought it into Vancouver's and got a really nice scoring chance off, but he didn't score. Um, and
Regardless, still
yeah,
good.
yeah, the day after, Foote had said something along the lines of like, um, oh yeah, like that's really nice and stuff, but you don't need to be doing that all the time. And I actually kind of disagree with him in this sense, just because like
But
I don't
again,
know.
now is the time to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, like he's a creative guy. He's young. That's what you want to be seeing from him in the future, right? You want to see that creativity, especially from the blue line now that you don't have a Quinn Hughes, right? You want to be seeing that. And I think to tamp it down now is one of those things that in the future won't necessarily help, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel as though a lot of people are hesitant to let the players kind of do their own thing. And I do understand, like to a certain extent, there's structure, there's ways that you want your team to play, but if you're not letting them come into their own, then you're not doing a good job as a coach. Because the whole point is that you are taking the talent that these players have and that, you know, that's what they're here for. They're going to show that and mold it into a structure
Mm-hmm.
versus here's the structure. Let me pick and choose where I can put their players.
Yeah. And I think and I personally have no idea why this was the case. But something else that kind of stuck out to me as well is of course Nikita Tolopilo got the start on Saturday, but prior to that, Kevin Lankinen had started in 5 straight games. And it's just interesting to me that like again, you're at the end, like you're heading into the end of a season where you're not really caring about points at this point. So there's no real like you don't you, like you kind of you want to play your young goaltender, right? You want to get your young goaltender experience. And to me, it was kind of like why like of course all politeness to Kevin Lankinen, but why are you not giving your young goaltender more minutes as well, right? And it kind of goes back to the thing where it's like questionable decisions when it comes to the lineup and who's playing and whatnot. And ultimately that probably does lead back to the whole structure argument where it's like, he wants players who play a certain way, and that's understandable. But at the same time, you've got a lot of young players coming up that you want to get more minutes and to like come into their own. And it's questionable right now.
Okay. See, not that I'm entirely disagreeing with you,
Mm-hmm.
but in this specific situation, I'm of the impression in the mind that like Demko, we knew this back then. We for sure know it more now than ever. He's not going to be able to be your starting goaltender. And I feel like Lankinen is not ready to step into that. So, but like Tolopilo isn't going to be your number one goaltender right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he's not going to be your number one goaltender for a while.
Mm-hmm.
When you've paid Lankinen as much money as you have for as long as, he's a good second goaltender, but he's not a first goaltender right now. If you want him to step into that, it does make sense to play him more often than not so that he does get prepared and ready for next season. Um, and also, I tried to root for Tolopilo, I did. But stopping 28 shots of 33 in the previous game and letting in, what was it? Four goals, three goals in like seven shots. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard. It's hard to root for you when, you're not making my job easy. Um, so in that situation, I do and like I think I am more inclined for them to play Lankinen
Mm.
more than Tolopilo. But I do also understand like where you're coming from, where it's like you want them to have those minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm also like Tolopilo wasn't going to be the number one goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we're at that point in the season where we don't have one, so you need to make one, and Lankinen is your best bet.
Yeah.
So
I just
that's
would have figured like for Lankinen to play five straight, especially with someone who, for Lankinen, in Lankinen's case, has started the majority of the season and then played at the Olympics.
oh, he didn't play.
Although he didn't technically play, but he was there at the Olympics.
That doesn't count. Sorry. I'm not to be mean, but his Olympic run doesn't count. He didn't play. He was there for vacation, got a bronze medal and came back, okay?
He is who everyone aspires to be in a group project.
Yes, exactly. He really said, um, I'm here. Participation. Participation will get you to the end.
I got you guys just in case.
Yeah. So I do understand. I think I'm less upset that they're playing Lankinen more. I'm glad that they gave Tolopilo an opportunity, but I don't know, maybe something's like really rattled his confidence because he had a couple good games,
Oh yeah.
but recently has just been bad.
Yeah. Just might be that. Or it might be one of those cases where maybe he's tweaked something and it's not fully injury, but he would be better off backing up. I don't know. There's a lot of questions around that, but
Oh no, of course.
yeah, we don't know the entirety of the situation. But I don't know, something that's he's kind of come under fire for lately as well is who he's been scratching. Like
Foot, you mean?
yeah, Adam Foote.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I was like, I didn't know
you're like
Tolopilo's making decisions.
you're like Tolopilo scratching people like with his like nails.
No, I actually it's gonna make me mad, so sorry. Continue. You can continue and then I will input later.
Yeah, I mean Nils Höglander. At this point, you just feel for the guy. It's almost like he can't do anything right, and then all of a sudden he's scratched, right? Like, and credit to Höglander. I feel like he's when he's played, he's done what he needs to do. He provides the energy, which a lot of people know is his style of play. Often he's on the fourth line with a couple other players. Again, it has rotated quite a bit. Um, and then other players too. Victor Mancini sat out for a bit. Elias Pettersson, the defenseman, sat out yesterday. And I'm sensing you have something to say, so I'm gonna pass the mic to you.
Look, while, you know, I will never understand why he scratched Mancini. I don't. I get DPD and I understand Hoglander. Um, that said, there are much worse players on your team. Much worse players. You know, usually in my mind, you are scratching the person that is not producing. And of everyone, they're all bad, but you got to choose the worst of the rotting apples, you know? And he's choosing the ones that have just started rotting. And he's like, let me put them in a corner, like have them absolutely like get demolished, and then maybe once in a while I'll throw them a bone, see if they can prove to themselves. Like it just seems like he's picking on them for no reason. In my mind, there is absolutely no reason why you're scratching Victor Mancini and putting in POJ. There's no reason. Yeah, so for me, the scratches and the way that he's been moving people up and down the lineup is just like I just don't understand it. I don't really see it. I don't see a pattern. I don't see any like strong reasoning. It's more just as like, especially with Hoglander, I'm like, you're kind of just like picking on him for no reason. And also, he's one of your better players. Why wouldn't you play him?
Hmm.
Like, sh man, I'm such a hater, but like, get Kane out of here. Get him out. He does not want to play. He's proving that he's not a good player. I don't care if he's on his 1000th game. Like, get him out. Get him out. But that's my opinion.
I have nothing else to add. That's pretty much what I was thinking. Like, it's just, it's so interesting because it's like, of course, like your young guys, like Buium, Willander, all those guys are getting minutes. But it is just kind of confusing when you scratch players that way, especially when you kind of mention the whole that you want to play your young guys, especially towards the end of the season when you've got games like this coming up. And the Kane thing, I get that they want to get him to 1,000 games. I wonder if we'll see him on the ice after that, like if he will play at all again after that for the Canucks.
I hope not.
But yeah, that might just be a case where they want to get him to 1,000, and then after they're just gonna. But I don't know. I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. I have a feeling Foote is likes his more veteran players to say the least, and will try to keep them in the lineup if he can. But on the topic of the young players, had some interesting things come out this week. With the young players and them kind of testing off their fighting skills. Of course, back at the beginning of the week, our friend of the program, Tyson Cole, caught a little glimpse of three of the Canucks' budding young defensemen, kind of practicing their fighting skills towards the end of practice. It was Tom Villander, Zeev Buium, and DPD all just at center ice, no one else around, and they're just going at each other. Which uh, is it great to see? Is it not great to see? We'll get into that debate in a second. But then later on, the game after, Zeev Buium got into a fight. So turned out the practice did end up helping, but I think it more so raises the question of, in my opinion, like, is fighting good for these young players? Like, do you view them getting into fights and practicing in this case? Is that a good thing, or do you think that's a bad thing?
Um, to be honest with you, I don't see anything wrong with it. in my mind, it shows that they care
Hmm.
and that they have heart and that they they're doing it because they want to do it. They
Yeah.
want to have that passion, that fire, because people don't fight just because they want to fight.
Hmm.
People fight either to like rile up the crowd or stick up for your teammates. You know what I mean? Or even just when you agree to have a fight, it's to let everyone on the team know, like, hey, we got to get this going, you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
It's an
which is
energy thing, right?
it's an
Yeah.
energy thing. Yeah, it's 100% an energy thing. And to see that these boys want to tap into that and play into that, create a hard, like a, like a stronger atmosphere, it's nice to see. Like
Hmm.
for me, it shows that, they care and they want to win.
Hmm.
And you physicality is a big part of the game at this point, especially when you're going up against teams like um, the Florida Panthers, teams like, oh, what was the super physical? The Preds, stuff like that. So I love it. And I was also super happy to see Curtis Douglas get into a massive fight. That was crazy, by the way.
Six
Uh,
foot nine Curtis Douglas against 6 foot
six
eight
foot
Adam
eight.
Klapka. Like,
Like that was crazy. I was watching the game with my dad and I told him, I was like, "Oh, there's the new guy." He's like, "Oh, who?" I'm like, "Curtis Douglas. You don't see the tree that is on the ice right now.
you're like, that one?
You know the one that looks like you went two times multiplier on?" Like you see him on TV and he just like you can see how big the guy is. It's not even like a oh, whatever. Like Mizey, sometimes I guess you couldn't really see it, you couldn't get away with it, but like Curtis's presence is there. Is very much there. And
Hmm.
to see a new guy who really hasn't gotten a ton of minutes with the team so far to bring that in, and like I know that's what he was known for, but still, you
Hmm.
know, he's doing it because he cares and he wants to do it for the team. And I love that kind of atmosphere.
Hmm.
To me, that shows that you're building brotherhood and that you're building trust within the team and that, like you're you're there for
Hmm.
your team. You're doing
Yeah.
it because you want to, not because you have to.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna, and I'm not gonna lie, he landed some solid punches. The end was in the, but he landed some solid punches, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, like he means business. He's not doing this to be a little pansy like the way that Evander Kane did when he first came. Did you ever see that fight? I don't know
Oh
if you saw
yeah.
that fight. That was so pathetic. But it's I think it's a good thing. And I really like it.
And I think,
I
yeah.
It's different when they're like actually practicing like WWE stuff. But for now, if they're just tussling and they're like, hey, like let's make sure that we're not going to embarrass ourselves if we do
Yeah.
get into a fight,
Yeah.
by all means, go for it.
If there's no injury risk involved, it is all good.
What about you? How do you feel?
I think that's just the main concern with, I guess, anybody would be injury, right? Like if these are your skill guys, if these are your top players of the future for now, you don't want them getting injured, right? Like later on the road. But I think, and not to draw parallels or anything, but I do think it is good, mostly because you look at the 2011 team when the Canucks had guys like Kevin Bieksa, Ryan Kessler, Alex Burrows. Of course, not gonna say Zeev William, Tom Lillander, and DPD are like those three because, for starters, they're not. But the fact that they are bringing that energy and showing that they're not afraid to get physical, kind of like that, I think it's a good sign, right? Like you just and you see the bond between like those three as well, especially. I feel like there's been a lot of that lately. You see a lot of the young guys, Zeev and Tom in particular, very close. Um,
Yes.
there was
Did you
a
see the
there was a
airport
video,
thing?
yeah, with
Yeah.
the airport thing when they were saying that they're each
They
other's
sit next to
seatmate,
each other, say one nice thing about him, and it
and it took like 5 minutes. It's just blank, no noise. Like, oh,
that's too funny.
yeah.
I mean,
So.
You
Love to
gotta
see
love seeing those kinds of relationships being built, though.
that. Mhm.
I
Exactly.
mean, it's it's nice to see that they're trying to get to know each other as a team, especially the younger guys, because the whole point of the Canucks right now is to rebuild. So make those relationships strong to begin with.
Hmm.
Um, start from the ground up, and I'm glad that they're kind of pressing the gas on that. I also really liked I don't know if you saw this quote that Buium had. There's nothing like playing well on a Vancouver team
Hmm.
for the fans.
Yeah.
Like nothing compares. And to me, it shows that, you know what, like he wants the best of the best.
Hmm.
And Buium's like, look, it's gonna be a hard road to get there, but once you get there, clearly, this guy is like, it's unlike anything you've ever seen. And if you think about it, even like Garland, people like JT Miller, like when they think back to their time in Vancouver, yes, there were some bad times, yes. But nothing beats playoff hockey in Vancouver.
Hmm. And I think that's something that both of the players that you just mentioned also touched on. Like Garland, for example, I remember him saying that a lot is that uh you can't be like when they're winning,
It's the best.
it's the best. Of course, when they're losing, it's the worst, but you gotta have lows to get to the highs, right? There's just been a lot more lows lately, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. So I like it. It's nice.
Yeah,
I have no complaints. And
just don't get injured.
well, from what I saw, especially the clip that the Tyson posted, it didn't seem like they were
Yeah.
going hard. It
Yeah.
seemed more like they were, as we said, practicing.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm talking like in game. Like don't go taking on like a Adam Klapka or something or someone
Yeah,
like.
they, pick and choose your battles wisely.
Yes, exactly. Okay, well, our last segment for this week is going to be our rapid fire segment for the week. And since we're getting towards the end of the season, figured talk a bit about some regular season awards. We don't know if the Goldeneyes are going to make playoffs at this point. It's looking like it's probably going to be a no, but that's okay. We will judge based on regular season performances. So we'll go through some regular season awards and then name who we think should win the award for each of the Canucks and the Goldeneyes. Uh, do we want to go awards for the Canucks and then awards for the Goldeneyes? Like go through all Canucks first and then all Goldeneyes, or go through the
Sure. Maybe that'll be easier.
award? Award or like each team?
Each team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with the Canucks then. We'll get the negatives out of the way first.
Well, okay.
Best defender.
Chronic.
Agreed. I don't think there needs to be much elaboration on that.
It is rapid fire, so
Exactly. This one will be hard. Best goaltender.
Elias Pettersson.
That's a creative answer. I will give you that. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what? What the heck? I'll take it. I was gonna give it to Tolopilo very slightly, just because young, first season, had a good stretch of games. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I can do to justify. But most exciting player.
Drew O'Connor.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll give you that. I went with Zeev Buium just because,
Oh, that's fair.
yeah,
That's a valid choice.
exciting future. Future
Yeah,
is here.
future's bright.
Unsung hero.
Oh.
Although I have a feeling our unsung hero has already been sung.
Um, I think I would have, in theory, chosen Carlson. That said, now, oh, do you have an answer? Let me think about this a little bit.
I'm kind of caught. Linus Carlson is the one I did end up going with, but I could also see Liam Ogren as unsung hero.
Maybe Victor Mancini? He's been playing well. Not in The problem is that like for me, unsung hero is like someone who's been doing like who had no expectation and is
Hmm.
doing exceptionally well. So I guess in theory, our unsung hero would be, in my opinion, Drew O'Connor as well.
Yeah.
Or had Carlson continued his streak,
Hmm.
but doesn't, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
TBD.
This one will be interesting. MVP.
Uh,
I
I'm gonna have to say Hronik.
also went with Veronic for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I
Yes. Someone
mean
else?
the guy is
No,
doing what
he's
he can and full credit to him for that.
Oh, 100%. No, I've gained so much respect for him, and I'm really glad that we kept him instead of Hughes. Even if Hughes was a better player, I think that Hronik has more qualities, more important qualities than just being a good performer that are going to add to the locker room, especially now that a rebuild's in place. So,
Mhm.
uh, my choice.
Yes. MVP, Phil Heronic. All
Yeah.
right. Time for the Goldeneyes. Rapid fire. Best defender.
Sophie Jakes?
I was also gonna go with Jake's, yeah.
I would be, I think it would be a fair battle between her and Claire Thompson, but I don't think Thompson's been playing well recently.
Yeah. I think just overall,
Yeah,
Jake's, you see
overall,
the
Jakes
way,
is
like,
more. Yeah.
just shots from the blue line, just constant, constant. And for the longest time, and I believe still, she was leading the team in shots as
Yeah.
a defender. So,
Oh, where have we seen that before?
oh, gee. Best goaltender.
MASH.
I
Well,
also went with Mash.
Campbell is a solid contender as well.
Yeah, it's honestly
Doing
both of
great.
the goaltending is not the problem with the Golden Eyes. Both of them have been phenomenal.
The only reason why we have even any points is because of them. So, like, props, ladies. You're doing great. Yep.
Okay. Most exciting player.
Uh, Okay. See, my issue with that question is it depends on the fragment of the season.
Mm,
Because if I were to say the beginning of the season, my answer immediately would have been Abby Boreen.
yeah. Mhm.
That said, she has not done, like, she's still very exciting to watch, don't get me wrong, but she hasn't done anything like out of the ordinary recently. So I would almost arguably say Vanishova, just
Mhm.
because every time she's on the ice, something's happening.
Mhm.
And I really do like her as a player as well.
Mhm.
So, mm, I don't really. What about you? Who did you say?
I went with Sarah Nurse just because injuries aside, like
Mm.
when she is in the lineup, you just like you know that she's on the ice. You could see her, and even if she's not producing, like if she has no points in a game, you will still notice her, right?
Yeah,
But
but is that because is that because she's Sarah Nurse, or is that because she's actually doing stuff?
I feel like it's because she's doing stuff a lot of the time. Like for example, like that game against Ottawa where she's getting roughhoused a little, but she's still popping back up and then just going at it, trying to do whatever she can.
I'm
Uh,
not hating on you, Sarah Nurse. Let's just put that out there. Putting that out there, not hating whatsoever. I think you're an amazing gal.
okay, unsung hero.
McMahon.
McMahon, that's a good one, actually. That's a good one. I was gonna go with Venetia for that one, but
I would
then I'm
also arguably say Katie Chan.
yeah, yeah. But
I'd
then
say there are some good contenders for that
oh yeah,
spot, actually.
quite a few. Like you could put Carvin in here, but also like I feel like
I
Carvin is
wouldn't say
like a
she's unsung
yeah,
hero,
exactly.
but
Yeah,
she is performing at the level that we expected her to.
yeah.
And it is nice to see that your expectations meet the efforts.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
you could put a lot of players under that category, but
yeah.
yeah. Okay. MVP.
Nash.
I also picked Mesh. But I think towards the end of the like towards this part of the season, since she has been out, I don't know if we could just say goaltenders as a whole. I would just go the goaltending department, like the goaltenders. But then it's
Wait,
like,
actually, can I choose an MVP?
yeah,
Brian Adulski. Like, not to be biased, but I have gained so much respect for him. While the Goldeneyes are not producing necessarily, he is very aware of the game and how it is played and um where his players' strengths and weaknesses are, and he always, always, always adapts to that. So, MVP, he's doing what he can. I My opinion, but
I don't know if I would give him MVP, and I don't know if I would sing his praises as much. But I do agree that while he's a rookie head coach, right? Like in
yeah.
like pro sports, right? And I think given that you kind of first season, inaugural season, you're figuring everything out, right? Like, in fact, you're probably still figuring out systems and what
Oh,
works
guaranteed. Yeah, yeah,
even right now, right? I think it, you'll start to see more of like, just generally speaking, and we've talked about this a lot more success next season, right?
yeah. Well, I really would have wanted Ashton Bell to get MVP this year
Mhm.
because, you named her captain, and I feel like not that there's pressure, but for her first year of captaincy, it's not that she's not doing anything, like she's not a bad captain, but she's not a out of the ordinary captain either,
Mhm.
I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah, which
I guess.
again, first season for everybody, right? In a
Oh
new
yeah, no, no, no.
city, new everything. Yeah.
I'm not saying like that she needed to perform and that she needed to do this just because she's captain, because you know what? The last captain of the Canucks was not phenomenal either. But yeah, it'll be nice to see them next season.
Yes, exactly. It'll be interesting to see them next season, given that expansion means that the team may not look the same, might look completely different. And then of course, the PWHL trade deadline is actually on Monday. So who knows if this team will look the same in a couple days or when this even releases. Who knows?
Guys, okay,
Oh,
I will
I'll let
take
you. Okay.
full responsibility, okay? Never use photo booth to record your stuff. Also, Apple, I need to have a word with you. So we recorded a podcast episode with our dear friend Lachlan at the Canucks Army, and I recorded it on photo booth. I thought everything was fine. I went to go send it to Izzy. Tell me why I didn't save. Tell me why I didn't save. And I was so upset. I tried everything to back it up. I restarted my computer. I went and looked like in my downloads. I tried to download it into a different file and then I really tried and I'm sorry. We'll
Which
just,
is okay. That
yeah,
just
it's
means
okay.
that we will be having a Lachlan's debut on the podcast will come at a later date. We
We
will
should
make
do
sure of
that.
that.
We should do that. Yeah.
We will do that.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Maybe
he
maybe
has
in the
some good
coming months.
input.
Yes, exactly.
We also, the three of us are seated next to each other at games. So
Yes.
it becomes very fun.
Yes, it's a
Enter.
fun environment and
Yes.
it was a fun hangout
Episode.
for
Yeah.
us.
The audio may not have been great, but it's okay.
Audio probably wasn't you probably wouldn't have been able to hear us if we're being honest. So you're
But still, it's okay.
it's okay. It's all good. It is all good.
Just means it'll happen at a later date. To
Yes,
be determined.
exactly. Exactly. With better audio.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that's everything from us for this week, everyone. So thank you as always for listening. Be sure to drop comment, bleh.
Drop comment.
drop topic suggestions in the comments. Thanks again for listening, everybody. Have a good rest of your week, and we will chat next time.